Hello everybody, welcome back to yet another Fragment Friday. This is a grumpy old guy gaming in the mackerel server. Keywords bony dried sturgeon. It is a level 40 field, and without further ado, we are heading in. A bit of a funny story on our way in. This is the third attempt I've had to find a field because I have just been hitting all of the worst possible things. And it seems I am going to do that again with a statue Menhir right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and take that down though. Nice big old critical hit thanks to Excalibur as we are running Gox the Heavy Blade in this one. Mummy Scissors taken out as well, and we can finally get things rolling with a Fairy's Orb on the field here. Links down below, by the way, for .hack Network and NetSlum. .hack Network, of course, the home of the unofficial official how to set up and play Fragment guides, still on the 2021 edition, but let's be honest, it is rather evergreen and updated dutifully when it needs so. Also a fantastic .hack fan site in general and very active Discord. Up against a sand hill here. NetSlum, very Fragment centric, but also plenty of .hack fandom, quite a bit of overlap between the two in fact. But NetSlum is the lobby server host, also the place where you can find the people working on the code side of the lobby server. Just about all of the area servers you'll see active, the vast majority of them have some sort of presence in that Discord, as well as the translation team for the telepatch. Take down another Menhir. Get our first treasure, and it is a Plasma Storm. Certainly welcome coin, if nothing else. All kind of random wandering statue Menhir here. Big critical, 786 we got on that. Not surprising given the fact that we're a touch over leveled for this area. But yeah, first time I went in, just 3 Pandora's boxes in a row in a field, and there's just no way you're making it through 3 Pandora's boxes with a Heavy Blade solo. It's just not going to happen, and even if you do, it's 2 hours later. So I got out, and the very next field I picked up was like 3 Naga Guardians out of a portal, and there was no surviving. There was no chance. I escaped, just barely. And so random wording on Mackerel here became a constant de-escalation. Just gonna back off here and just Rom these suckers. Mummy Scissors sort of tissue paper against magic, and we know this because our casting is not as high as most other classes. Of course, if you go back in GOG's history, early levels we were using the Katetsu sword rather well to be a cast first heavy blade. But the goal the whole time was Excalibur, and now that we have the sword, I've been trying to be a bit more martial in our strategies. That said, an effective strategist is one who can adapt to the situation, and I do believe that's where we're at here. Taking a few good shots from the Mummy Scissors before finishing it off in kind. Speaking of effective strategists, they typically use all the tools at their disposal. I've been woefully lacking in that, but as Rig Geem and Rig Same are already wearing off, let's go ahead and reapply them and go ahead and add our missing third buff, Apt Torv. When you have a plus 15 to your physical accuracy, you probably should take it. Sunset hours here on this field. I suppose it could be the sunrise hours as well. It just reminds me so much of a sunset, this particular skybox. Devil out of that box. Leaving us with just a few portals left and a big giant sandhill between us and the next one. Threw on the brakes so we didn't accidentally activate it and make this battle a touch more exciting than it really had to be. fact, we're not making this battle exciting at all because we're staying in place and hacking at a large pile of sand. Making life a little more inconvenient for us is that large pile of sand is gaining 65 hit points back every tick. Not an issue for us. We do outpace it by a considerable measure, but with a large hit point pool, it's still probably got its fair share back. Still gonna get about 1,000 up before this sandhill starts going. Health regen, once again, gonna slow us, ain't gonna stop us, and we've still got it under half before the sandhill attacks us. Once again, cannot stress this enough. Safety in numbers in a more unusual mode of the word. This time we are using lower numbers on the server to give us a safer yet less rewarding experience online. Offline may push the level a touch higher. Maybe a different level range I would push the level higher, but right here in the mid-50s, everything around is kind of the bane for melee classes, so just kind of got to take it slow and steady until you get into the mid-60s, and by that point you're entering that upper echelon where just about everything in Fragment is going to try and kill you all the time, and is generally pretty good at doing so. I was waiting for that treasure chest, and it still caught me by surprise. Thunder armor out of that box. Now we have one open portal and one right next to the dungeon. Another sandhill. Hoping for more critical hits. Those 500 point hits are lovely. Kind of a moral imperative for me, actually, to run GOGs this week. I was sort of stuck. I spent the whole weekend trying to think of what character to run the Fragment Friday, and between that and a couple personal things going on, I never did get to sit down and actually do the thing. I failed to verb the noun this weekend, and I apologize for that. That said, we are getting it out in plenty of time. Thanks to a comment made in the Fragment discussion at .hack Network about the gear that is ripe for the farming for heavy blades, and of course, me being an Arthurian legend geek, I had to shoot right to Excalibur. Not the easiest weapon to find, but it's there. I'm literally wielding it as we speak. May not believe it because it's got the same sword model as you actually start out with as a heavy blade. But the important thing is we have it. Let's finish this off with a flourish. Let's go ahead, light this blade up with a little magical fire. Got at least 3 risky treasures to open. Make that 4. I had a hunch that might be the case, but I didn't want to assume. See me fortune wiring out of the menu like a boss, because that's what the kids say these days. Lightning cap out of the first, thunder cloak out of the second, lightning cap out of the third, and a Stormlord helm for number 3. All thunder element equipments in that low 30s range. Nice gear. Whew. Needed a breath. Also needed a drink. Into the dungeon now. Time to reapply some buffs. App Anade is just gonna have to chill while we reapply Rig Same, Rig Game, App Do via Speed Charm, and App Torv. In no particular order. Now that we've got targets spinning around a sword floating above our head, we are ready to go. Another Menhir, and it looks like a Mimic. Oh joy, a Mimic. We're confused, which gives me a little rest on the old circle button. Now it's time to see... Oh good. This one, not physical tolerant. Once you get up to the Pandora's boxes, they tend to resist physical attacks, which makes the confusion all the more frustrating. Killer boxes, however, infinitely more mortal than that. Don't ask me why I went out of my way to stress the T in mortal that much. Just doing weird things with the words. Thunder armor out of that chest, so we're getting lots of thunder element gear here. Not a bad thing whatsoever, and like I said, even if we're not going to use it, still sells. Always sells. Or could go to a guild shop if I would ever make or join a guild. Still don't think they posted anything in the news section into the game itself. We have functioning news now, thanks to the fantastic coders working on this game. Zach Mon, Formless, and company have unlocked just about all of the unlockable secrets. There are a few things that aren't active, but the vast majority of this game in its original form is there to be played and enjoyed in 2022, and that is just astounding to me. Get confused, and this is going to be a little tricky for us, as there are two Menhir that we really want to focus on and take out, and confusion is going to make that quite the challenge without them resurrecting each other constantly. See, that time we thought we had the Menhir taken care of, and weren't able to switch to the second one in time. Get confused again, but this time we do have a Menhir down. So once we get out of confusion, I guess the big thing is, well, let's go ahead. It should have been to take that Menhir down, but I stuck on the Pandora's box for reasons that defy human explanation. Now we're finally back to the Menhir, and confused for like the 11th time, big critical hit stops all resurrection shenanigans for the rest of this battle. And now it's just a matter of finishing off the boxes. Confusion will aid us here, as my hand is sore as hell from live streaming Galaxian. Not much energy left in the old thumb. Did alright at it. Not good by any stretch of the imagination, but acceptable for me. Had a handful of scores in the respectable level, never did crack 11th thou. Rig Game and Rig Say wore off, but I feel we could do without them for one portal, and instantly regret my decision, as that portal is comprised of 3 statue Menhir. Meaning that this battle is going to take a while, no matter what we do. And one thing we will do is take an awful lot of Ride On. Big critical for 786 is probably going to go all for naught. Let's see here. No, we actually got the kill. First try kill on a Menhir out of a party of 3. That doesn't happen often. Usually what happens is what we saw there, knocked the second one out, but before it could go away, it was resurrected. Here I think Rhydon saved us. We took that spell to the face, and that distracted the Menhir long enough that number 2 went away. Finally killed the third Menhir. Pick up an immature egg as our reward, and what the hey, while we're here, let's actually go ahead and heal some hit points. Pretty sure we're near the end of the first floor for ourselves. Nope, still another portal to go. So let's go ahead and take care of that portal. I'm once again going to risk it because we're 14 levels over here. I think we can make it through a portal. If I'm wrong, then we deserve to lose the level. Once again, 1 Menhir, 1 Mimic, and it's important to let the killer box confuse us. Make sure we get close to that Menhir. That'll take it out, and our speed boost goes down as well, so just piling on the damage on the killer box, and very happy it is cornering itself. Saw a brief look into the interior. That's a bit better, if not for the little aura going around. You can see there's nothing but rocks in there. May have looked like gold while we were fighting it, but now that we've killed it, just a box of rocks. First floor and all of our buffs are down. Floor number 2 now. Fairy's Orb disclosing some extra information and telling us we have a bit of a winding path here. And 3 portals right past the initial room. Go ahead and get our big 4 up. Apdu, Rig-Geem, Rig-Same, and Aptorv. This time in that exact order. Once the casting animations are finished, we can finally proceed. More Manir coming out. And again, the confusion not bothering me in the least. Still not the quickest attack motion. Didn't look like we were lucky enough to take out the Snakeoid with enough immediacy that the Manir may have focused on it instead of each other. But again, you do what you can. Here we were set up in that perfect situation where had we been confused, we would have gone from Manir to Manir. Instead, we're stuck right in the middle, and by the time we're actually confused, there's not much we're doing in the way of damage. Big critical finishes off a Manir. Get confused, but take out the other with yet another critical hit, and right now the 786s are carrying the day for us. Thought we had the Manir down. Grave miscalculation. I stepped away, got confused, and now we're attacking the killer box. Get back to the Manir, but it's already got half its health back. Do finally finish it off, and I am going out of my way not to say the word Manir again. Damn it, I said the word Manir again. Battle is finally over. Take a moment to let our confusion end itself, as there's really not much else you could do when you're soloing, but let that one run out. Another Manir and Killer Box combo with some mech suits looking on, or robots if you're so inclined, or mini Gundams, or however you prefer to look at them. I'm gonna say robots. To me that is a very robot looking build. There we are. Hardly in disguise, so. One more treasure chest to go. This one of the normal variety, giving us a hanged man. Not exactly what I want to be pulling out of a wooden box. Manir and Snakeoid starting. Is that a king Snakeoid? Find out here momentarily. It is a king Snakeoid. That we didn't really get to see. Instead, we got to see about 2 seconds of stopwatch as these little crystal pods really messed with the visual at the wrong time. Just cut us a little closer than comfort would allow. Crack the urn and get a sports drink. Weird place to put it, but also refreshing, I suppose. Get a couple of killer boxes out of this one, and that makes the decision simple. Just pick one and hack away, hack away, hack away all. One hit away from done, and now killer box 1 is finished. Get a bit of a start on number 2 before I actually have to do things again, now that my character is back under my control. Try and finish off this last 465 before getting confused again. And we do so successfully, meaning that we don't have to sit there like a yachts and wait for the debuff to wear off. Did miss that treasure chest because I had already hit the circle button before it spawned. Just unfortunate timing. Fortunately, on to floor 3 and not using Sprite Ocarina, my hands have just been the worst with these commands lately. Big long hallway with a portal in it to kick off the 3rd floor and at least one dead-end room. So that much is good to see. Buffs have been reestablished, and it is time to crash the party. First off, let's take this treasure chest. Got a lightning bolt in it, always a welcome addition to a spell repertoire. Thunder armor to go with the lightning bolt spell. Moving into a T-shaped room separating the sides of the dungeon. Get a Hellbox and a King Snakeoid. Going after the Mimic type first, but that side hallway camera view got the best of me. Big 426 crit. Now moving through some solid 213s. And some fancy footwork fells the Mimic. King Snakeoid, no chance. 2 hits and it's down. Speaking of down, only one more portal beneath us, and then the rest will be on the right side of the map. 2 killer box. Yeah, 2 killer boxes and 2 mummy scissors. Scissors, very little chance of survival here. And now that we're down to just the killer boxes, we know we're going to get confused and we know they're going to take some damage. See, our health total relatively unchanged. Especially now that it's down to a one-on-one fight. This thing's throwing maybe 40 damage to us on a hit, and we're regenning 23 a tick off rig same. Confused one more time, big critical to end the battle, and now we just have to wait for the debuff to time out. Hopefully get to these risky treasures in time. Looks like we will have more than enough time to do so. Tough to believe, even missing that one chest, we've already gone through 12 fortune wires out here. Nice resurrect. May not have been exactly 12. Like I said, I've had to go in and out of a few fields to find something that we could run without dying dead. 3 killer boxes. Once again, not gonna die dead, just gonna feel that way. Again, so much of the confusion battle is out of the player's hands, and I think that's the most frustrating part of it. We will get out of this battle to fight another day, and that day is going to see a 4th floor. Even more importantly, we get confused just in time for this to be a one-on-one battle, so we should be in great shape by the time we once again have agency over our characters. Even with a miss in some fancy footwork by the Mimic, we had it at about half health, and 3 strikes later, and it is out. Actually get a chance to reapply Rig Geem and Rig Same, as we aren't almost out of here by now. Small wonders, people. Another T-shaped room, this one upside down and slightly overdrawn at the stem. Just take out the mummy scissors for the sake of getting it out of there and letting the Hellbox's confusion really be its own worst enemy, as we get free attacks in at the earliest possible convenience, because while we're confused, our attack step is pretty well automated. Another takedown there. Now it's time for that dead-end room we saw way back at the beginning, looking to the right of the map. And we get a Snakeoid, a mummy scissors, and a pair of Hellboxes. Get frozen in place while the King Snakeoid goes all pro boxer on us. Not once, but twice. Take it out, and now it's just a chance to dance with a couple Hellboxes. By the pale moonlight, if you will. If not, that's fine. Not even sure what phase of the moon it is outside. I could look down. Check the little weather widget on my start bar thing. Feel free to laugh over my terrible names for computer things I should know by now. Get some thunder armor, a plasma storm, and a mage's soul. Three pretty nifty items there, and that's floor 3 in the bag. Getting to floor number 4, brought to you by the letter F. And I waste a fairy Zord before we actually get there. Guys, there is never a time of day I should not be drinking coffee. My goodness, as my mind just turned to sludge. Fortunately, it looks like this 4th floor may be the final one. A lot of efforts there. Not 100% guaranteed because there's still a path that doesn't look like a dead end inherently, but very well could lead there. And that's probably the way we'll go first, down and to the left. Risky treasure out of the portal to go with a normal chest already in the room, yielding a plasma storm and ninja anklet respectively. Skip those breakables, get to this L turn room. And yeah, this is looking like the final floor. Say hi to yet another statue Menhir, because it's been a little while since we faced these guys, and we were kind of missing having to deal with resurrection shenanigans. And now we're no longer missing it, because it done happen. King Snakeoid back on his feet. Even though he's easy enough to take out, that was time we could have had to be elsewhere by now. Two Snakeoids here. See if we can one-shot this one. Big tall jump and 682 damage on the landing. Gotta love Juke Divider. Left side's final portal is more Snakeoids. This time a trio, and these 3 kings ain't going too far. See a lovely close-up of Gogs and absolutely none of the action taking place. But we do get the death out of that chest and nowhere else. Almost skipped that other chest because I was in a hurry to get to the other side of the map. Backtracking with active buffs. Not the best feeling. So now that we've covered the bottom left section, got right and up before we go do right for our statue chest. Menhir and Snakeoid. Hell of a lot better than Hellbox, I will say that. Maybe a bit more of an imposing threat on physical damage, but we're kind of geared to deal with physical damage well. Menhir goes down off screen as no part of this run has been camera friendly. Pick up some Quake Beast for a little bit of variety in our item diet. Here we have a Menhir with 2 scissors. Just let them run with their claw weapons. Happy that these guys haven't at least employed a death touch attack against us yet. I suppose I shouldn't assume they don't have it. I did that once and that was a pretty grave mistake because the monsters I thought were pretty harmless, in that case Nobunaga's souls, came up and death touched me in the final floor of a dungeon. Avoiding a very risky mistake there, getting away from that risky treasure. Picking up the Hanged Man, a Mage's Soul, the Death, and a Lightning Bolt in this little mini treasure trove, and just for the sake of keeping up shop, reapplying Rig Geem and Rig Same before taking on the final portal of this dungeon. If it's a treasure chest, we'll all chuckle. Let's take it from the right this time. Not a treasure chest. In fact, Menhir and scissors and going right turned out to be correct. Gets us right in line with the Menhir. Now let's finish this off with a little fire sword. 3 for 3, and Vax Maxima does the deed. We have once again successfully verbed a noun. We have done the thing, we have won the day. Now nothing to do but hot foot our way down to the statue room. Do believe this is a thunder element field as given away by the machine workings of the dungeon, and Lancier being the statue. Inside the chest is an infantry cap along with a rainbow card and recovery drink. Some of the gear we pulled today, we got a lightning cap, an infantry cap which has ult rip sync, and solid 2s across the board for elemental resistances. Got a Stormlord helm. Got some Quake Beast fur there with Rye Cruise. Whole ton of Thunder armor. And a Ninja anklet, amongst others, folks. I want to thank you for coming and checking this out, and I do hope you have a fantastic Friday and Fragment Friday. If you're curious about the game, the links below will help you figure out how to set it up and what you need to do so, as well as point you in the direction of several helpful people to answer your questions and help you with just about anything they legally can. This has been a Grumpy Old Guy Gaming, thanking you for stopping in and watching and having a little adventure party with me. Do take care, and I hope to see you around.